Hello, welcome to Hack Shack Studios. Art T. Bear here, and I'm taking a break. I am taking a break from my work, and I'm going to hang out with you guys for the next hour. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free. I don't have anything planned. We're just going to hang, and we're just going to talk. Hey, Shinto, look at my trick. Watch, I can do it with both hands. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, how does it work? It goes. So I'm just goofing off, having a good time, playing my air drums. So welcome to Hack Shack Studios. And this is just a chill stream. I'm just taking a break from work. So I thought I'd hang out with you guys for an hour or so just to goof off and take a break and then go back to a long day of work. Just to get you, keep you up on what's going on. I believe I'm going to start page 5.5 later today on Chrono Mechanics. So 55 pages means there's only 5 left. So it's a 60-page issue. So we are getting close. We're getting so close to finishing this book and getting it to the printer. So I am most excited about that. So let's go. We have Shinto. He's usually the first one in. Thank you. Hey, this one's for you. This one's for you, Shinto. Let me see. I got to move back because I don't have a lot of room here. So when you play the drums, you do it this way, and then you hit the hi-hat so you don't miss the beat. So you do so when you go this way, you're hitting the hi-hat. So it's do. Wait, I can't do. I'm overthinking it. So it's. So that's how you do it. So that's how you make it look cool in rock and roll, baby. So that was pretty impressive. I haven't done that in a while. So we have Arch. Wait, we have Arch Geek Art. Yo, Art, what's up? We have Albino Thunderbuns. Rock on. This one's for you. Rock on. Sticks backwards. I can do like these flips too, but I don't have enough room here where I can just twirl the stick back. I don't have enough room here to do it right. Yeah, I'm just goofing off, you guys, having a good time, taking a break. Rock on. Rock. Hi, Art, what's up? We have Nighthawk Warrior. My computer's delaying. 55 pages of 60, yes. So Chrono Mechanics is a 60-page book. Thanks to you guys, it started off as a 48, and now it is 60 pages. So we added 12 new pages to that. And if I didn't, the book would be done, and it would be at the printers right now. But we wanted to make the book as cool as we could, and you guys helped out with an extra 12 pages, which now the story was cool before, but now it really, really rocks. So yeah, I'm going to put an eye out. I have hit myself in the eye several times. But yeah, just goofing off here. Comics Geek, yeah, Comics Geek concert at CancelCon, Art on Drums. Yes, yes, that would be cool indeed. So, yes. Be careful. You need that eyesight. Yes, I do. I've done worse things to my eyes, so I think I'll be okay. So yeah, I was just gonna hang out with you guys, talk in the chat, goof off. Like I said, I don't really have anything prepared. But yeah, Chrono is coming along really, really good. Very, very proud of the book. I do have some stuff I could show you. I just went over and did my finishing touches on one of the pages, so I could show you that. Nighthawk Warrior says, "Hey everyone." So yeah, you guys. Also, this is going to fail or succeed based on your questions and interaction. So feel free if you have any questions or whatever, and we'll keep this party crazy. We'll keep this party crazy. Okay, so I'm going to what do I have? Oh, I also have some reviews, old Chrono Mechanics reviews, and I have let me put my sticks down here. I have a write-up from the great Walter Simonson. So he did the introduction to this book. So there we go. Time waits for one man. And the reason it says time waits for one man is because it took Walter forever to get me this introduction. So I can read it here. I'm just going to do like a quick, I'm not going to read all of it. So I met R.T. Bear for the first time in Ralph Macchio's office at Marvel many years ago. At least that's what he tells me. Okay. I never remember the first time I meet anybody, but he says that he showed me a bunch of pages and apparently I didn't brush them off. I regret that because now I have to write this introduction. Maybe if I'd been ruder, I wouldn't be sitting here typing. I'd be in bed fast asleep. On the other hand, I knew Art well enough and respected his work enough to see him ink one of my issues of the Fantastic Four. Beautifully, I might add. So all in all, we've probably come out even. This is very, very nice to say. There's a couple of these paragraphs. Walter's a nice guy, but I think I got him at a bad time because he busts my balls here. Okay, so Chrono Mechanics is from R.T. Bear. I could describe it as the adventure of four time stream repairmen who come from different walks of life and who join together, not entirely voluntarily, to keep time on the straight and narrow. And that would be a little like describing. Then he goes into some details about the story, but I didn't want to get into that. R.T. Bear has one of the loveliest ink lines in the comics industry, as well as a thorough mastery of cartooning and storytelling that are full on display in the early going. He has a wonderful eye for invention and detail as well. And when the story takes a sudden turn, a right turn through the nature of what is it? This is hard to see. And when the story takes a sudden right turn partway through, the nature of that turn is abruptly and explicitly realized in the form of Chris Chua. So he's referring to a certain story, but I didn't want to go into the actual story. So this is another Chrono Mechanics story that he's reviewing, not the one that I'm working on now, obviously. So this is older stuff. But really, none of the above begins to describe the engaging looniness of the entire proceedings. The Enterprise has some of the qualities of a fever dream, seemingly real and convincing at times, but perhaps hard to grasp entirely upon walking the nearest equivalent. I can think of what is this? The equivalent I can think of. Oh, the equivalent I can think of would have to be something like Mobius's Airtight Garage graphic novel, a long, rather rambling, and ranges graphically from goofy cartooning figures to tightly controlled forms over the course of storytelling that travels across dimensions. Chrono Mechanics may actually be the loonier of the two, and in the end, when the time stream has been successfully dealt with and the fever has broken, I still find myself with some questions, and then the questions are spoiler alerts for the story. So this was really nice. Like I said, Walter kind of busted my balls on this, but this is his introduction to this book here, which I did some years ago, and that was very, very cool to get him to do that. And it was funny because the next day, because he sent that to me, it was really, really late at night, and we were going to print. And in the morning, when he finally did get some sleep, he emailed me and he said, if you want a more favorable introduction, he said, I can give it to you. And I said, no, I said, I appreciate the honesty, and it's absolutely hilarious. You know, you're busting my balls here in the introduction. So it isn't your traditional, like, you know, oh, he's so amazing and all that other stuff. There is, you know, those things are there as well. But it was more personal and more of our relationship. So we have Archgeek in the house. What's up? Ever in running. So what is this? Was Art by Art ever in the running? In the running for what? So please, Jeffrey SDP, let me know. Justin McClure, are we being read to? Just that, yeah, very badly, by the way. The type, actually, I designed it, but it's really hard to read. So we got Archgeek here. Here's a question. Out of our little Comicsgate family, who would you like to team up with on a book, and what IP would you choose? One of your own, one of theirs, or a different third-party IP? So like a crossover between one of my IPs and their IPs? So, or would this be like an artistic team up, like me and, I don't know, EVS or somebody like that? Who would you like to team up with on a book, and what IP? So I guess it would be, there's only one person in Comicsgate that actually, well, there's two that I would like to ink, and one of them would be John Malin, because I think I could bring something to his work. There's an inspiration there, and I'm not sure what would come out yet, but I think if I had a piece to practice on and then come up with something, I think it would look cool. And then I also like Andrew Huerta's style, so I think that would be fun to ink, although I don't know what I could bring to it, but it just looks like it'd be a lot of fun to ink. And as a crossover, or what IP would I want to work on? I like all the IPs, but to be honest, the reason I left DC and Marvel, mainly DC recently, is so I could do my own thing. So there's not really an IP out there, to be honest, that I would really want to work on. I wouldn't mind doing crossovers if I could still be involved creatively. That would be cool, but not a title or a story. Also, I'm not really that fast of an artist, so it would take me some time to do one of these projects. So it would have to be something I really, really wanted to do. So third-party IP. I am doing, oh man, I should have prepared this. I am doing a crossover Vampirilla black and white cover. It's done, and Kyle turned in his color work, and it looks amazing. So we're going to launch that campaign soon. So I'm talking with Dynamite right now and trying to work out the deadlines and all the details of how that's going to come to pass. So so yeah, I wish I had a better. I think just I would like to ink John Malin. I think that's the big thing. I would like to see crossovers, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do them. And I really wouldn't want to work on other IPs. I think the other IPs are amazing, but I'm just having so much fun doing my own thing right now. And the reason I left Marvel and DC is just so I could do my own thing. So we have Skits. What's up? We have Sheldon, who cracked me up the other day in the chat. Man, you got a wicked wit about you, Sheldon, that I do appreciate. I think you are hilarious. Oh man, the chat just started zooming across. Interesting question, Archgeek. Yeah, so feel free to ask any questions too, because this is just me taking a break and hanging out with you guys for a while. So I don't really have anything prepared other than my bad reading of Walter Simonson's introduction to chronomechanics. I also have some reviews. I should find those reviews. I have a review. Actually, I have a chronomechanics review, believe it or not, from Orson Scott Card, the writer of was it Ender's Game? I wanted to say Endgame, but it's Ender's Game. So Archgeek, anyone who doesn't pay respect to Art's Inkline doesn't know comics. Legend status. Oh, thank you, Archgeek. Legend is just another way of saying you're old, though. But I do appreciate it. True dat. I gotta stop touching this table because this camera is very it's gonna bounce all over the place. We need to buy more of Art stuff so we can afford reading glasses. Technically, I should be wearing trifocals, but that's like 3 lenses in 1 lens. But the thing is, it gives me vertigo. So when I move my eye up and down, that's supposed to be each step of the lens in 1 lens. And it's an absurd idea. How do you train your eye? It's freaking nuts. And then going from one extreme to the other, it just gives me a weird vertigo. So what I do is I have these glasses are for just a general overall, so I can see everything well. But when I work or I read, I have to take the glasses off. And then the only thing I can't do is like distance. But I can see far enough away with these glasses, like to drive and to be safe and to do all those other things. It's just not in as sharp a focus as it could be. So yeah, these glasses are fine. It's just the reality of deteriorating eyesight. Wait a minute. Albino just showed up, and then he's got to run. He's got to run, man. He just got here. That dude's on the move constantly. He's got things to do. Later, T-Buns. All right, Jeffrey STP. Now I have to remember what you asked. So he says anything. So anything. Was Art by Art ever in the running for anything? Just my website is Art by T-Bear. So that's all. That's all I did there. Everybody's saying hi. Got a polite chat. That's good, man. You guys all like each other. We have Ray Alcivedo. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. I love all that stuff, man. Airtight Garage, all that Mobius stuff. And I was definitely influenced by it. So Walter called me on it. And I believe that Airtight Garage was the behind the scenes idea was it was non-continuity. It was just kind of being made up on the fly as it went along. So it's like a stream of consciousness idea. It's not like there was actually any real structure to it story-wise. So I like the idea of working that way. So a lot of the early Chrono Mechanics stories that I did were more like stream of consciousness versus like crafted stories. So the one I'm doing now is more of a crafted story. And I started learning, well, it was just an exercise. It was just something I did for fun. But later I started working with Kim Vandervoort, who's a novelist. And I started working with Matthew Hillary, who is a screenwriter. And those guys, I learned so much about structure and storytelling and plot and pacing and all that stuff. So I kind of abandoned those ideas, even though they're a lot of fun to do just creatively. I think it does make it a little harder for people to follow, but it is a lot of fun. Edgar says, Malin T-Bear book would have me dumping my money into that Indiegogo. I don't know. If I had time, a whole issue would be cool, but maybe just a cover for now. Archgeek, Malin Militia, and T-Bear Troop collaboration crossover. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, Malin's actually one of my favorite just comic skater as well. I kind of like the way he conducts business, and I like the his persona on the live streams, and I like that when he says he's going to do something, he does it. So that's pretty cool. So let's see what Skits has to say. If you guys don't know, Skits Comics, I believe he's got an Indiegogo pre-launch page for his new project. So go over and check that out and give him your email address. So I'm not sure. Most of the time they have like little goodies and things that if you pre-sign up for the book that you get. So you get access to exclusives or freebies and stuff like that. That's what we did with Chrono Mechanics. So we gave you access to some exclusives. So let's see what he says. It's nice to be able to go back and forth on your own and somebody else's IP. Yeah, I'm enjoying just going back and forth with my own IPs, to be honest. This is a luxury I've never had before. And so hopefully these books can keep selling and we can keep, I can stay in this arena, this creator-owned arena. So I don't remember seeing this name. So is that Quack Art? So hello, I'm in. Can you cross over with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That would be fun. Yeah, I think the Chrono stuff could go. It's way more flexible, so I think it could probably go into any direction. So that would be fun. That would be fun to do. So let's see what Nighthawk Warrior says. I'm great today, Sheldon. Oh, you guys are having a conversation in the chat. You suck me in. So Art, why did you leave DC? I left DC so I could do this. I was trying to do both probably this time last year. And the idea was I would use DC as my day job. And then at night, I would do create your own properties. But what happened was the create your own thing became a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. And it really is a full-time job. That and promoting and live streaming, it's a lot more work. It's work that I like and I enjoy, but it's a full-time commitment. It's a full-time commitment and a half to do these Indiegogo campaigns and these create your own IP ideas. So I couldn't handle the workload anymore. It was killing me. Actually, I could have, but it was killing me. I'm one of those guys that I have a pretty good dig down, so I can get things done if I have to. But I didn't want it to be something that I hated or that became a lot of work as well. Even though it is a lot of work, but I mean work that was just going to sustain things, meaning just a page rate at DC Comics. So I had nothing against DC. I like the steady paycheck and the royalties; those were fun. But just as far as where my heart is right now, it's in these with these IPs and creating my own stuff. Who's trying? What is this? OSC is who I am trying to emulate in my writing. Who is OSC? I don't know who that is. Edgar, what does Edgar say? Art is so old that George R.R. Martin was writing fan letters to Marvel about him. That is true. And also, I met George Martin, I think before he started publishing comic books. So he came to me and we went out for lunch or just drinks, and he wanted me to draw his adaptation, I guess, his comic book adaptation of Game of Thrones. So I think Mike Miller ended up doing those books or the covers or something like that. So I was pretty busy at the time. So he's a funny guy, man. He's this big man, but he wears like a sailor's cap, like the skipper from Gilligan's Island. And I think he even wears like a t-shirt, like a collar shirt, like the skipper. So I don't know. He just kind of reminded me of the skipper from Gilligan's Island. I'd go for quad lenses. No, man, I can't even go for bifocals. Trifocals are insane. Anything other than one lens, and I'm out. Does EVS have a monocle? I'll wear a monocle. That'd be fun. I'll look all eccentric. What is it? Somebody said like the Monopoly Man, people think has a monocle, but he does not have a monocle. But for some reason, I forget. Hey, my daughter will know. Hey, Amanda, what do you call that? Like with the Monopoly Man, where people think he has a monocle but doesn't. There's a name for it.
Oh crap! What is that thing?
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know it's named after a dude.
Yeah, but it's like a phenomenon, right? Where like the mass population think one thing, but in reality, it never existed. And so people think that the Monopoly Man has a monocle, but he does not. He does have a top hat, though. He's a spiffy dude. Let's keep this on here so I remember where I was at. I think Amanda, my daughter, is looking it up. Yeah, it's a phenomenon. I think did you send me a link to something, or we watched it together? It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know it's named after a dude who they thought died in like the 90s or something like that, and he wasn't. He was like the prime minister of something.
Right, and they named the phenomenon after that guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's right. That is right. Oh my gosh, this chat is going nuts. Where are we?
Somebody will figure it out. I just can't remember that guy's name.
Yeah, but it was interesting. Like all the things we think exist, but do not. Even ways we say like phrases, and they just become part of the general consciousness, but they're not true. They're like misnomers. And I saw there's a whole show on it. There's a ton of things that we think are reality, but that are not. And it makes you think that maybe the Matrix is real. Sheldon says monocles will impress the ladies. It'll make you seem like you're rich and eccentric. R.R. Martin, LOL. What a Tolkien wannabe. Yeah, I don't know.
Mandela effect.
The Mandela. Oh, it was Nelson Mandela, right? They thought was dead. That's right. Thank you. The Mandela effect. Free Nelson Mandela. That's my beautiful singing voice. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, multi-lenses are nuts. I don't know who came up with that. Anybody that can use that, that's fine. But they are not for me. I think my wife actually has bifocal contact lenses. And for the life of me, I don't know how those work, because the way they work with your glasses, you have to move your eye. But if it's on your eye, how the hell do you do that? But she's okay with them. She likes them. Yeah, Mobius does rock. He is one of my biggest influences and has been for a long, long time. And the chronomechanic style is so inspired by that man. Great artist and very versatile. That's what I want to be known for, is like versatility. And as an inker, I've worked in many, many different styles. So let's see this. Does anyone have any questions about my comic book project, Savage Hawk? Perhaps we should get you in at some point and we'll ask you a ton of questions. Studs, Ramrod. Woo, that's a... I almost said that's a mouthful, but that would sound horrible. That's a crazy name. Hello, Art and everybody. Jeffrey STP, Airtype Garage was hard for me to decipher, but I greatly respect how work intensive it was. Yeah, it's more like a creative exercise that was brilliantly done. But I don't think the story was really crafted as much as just a stream of consciousness. And so when I started working on Chrono, initially, I wasn't really thinking about doing anything specifically with. I was just having a good time drawing and creating stuff, a world, ideas, maybe not so much drafting a story, let's say. But now I am, like I said, working with Kim Vandervoort on a chronomechanics adaptation novel, and Matthew Hillary on a screenplay, which I'm playing with the idea. Oh my gosh, let me know, you guys. As a stretch goal, I asked Matthew and his agent and my agent, these are Hollywood literary agents, if we could do this as a stretch goal or as a tier, where we could offer I think it's like 116 pages screenplay, where we could offer the screenplay for you guys. So maybe we could do it as a stretch goal. If we get to a certain stretch goal, then everybody will get the story for free. And it might be really, really fun for you to see how this would be adapted to a movie and how it could work. And the screenplay, I think, is absolutely phenomenal, I should say. Hey, Pamela, you want to say hi to the chat?
Hello, everyone.
All right, let's do the Three Stooges thing. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. And then you have to say hello at the end.
Hello.
Hello. We have Humphrey Bear.
Oh, I like that.
Humphrey Bear, is anyone drawing live? Not me. I'm not going to be drawing live. I'm taking a break from working, and I'm going to show you guys what I was working on early this morning, and then I'm going to go back to work. But I just wanted to do a fun hangout with you guys and field some questions, and just you guys are so entertaining in the chat. This is a lot of fun for me. So straight to the point. Hail Malin. I got to get going on these this chat. We have Sweetcast. Hey, how are you, Clint? We got to hang out again. I think Clint opens up his YouTube. Is it Mondays? So I got to get in there and hang out. Clint is one of the coolest guys in Comicsgate, and I go on his show. I feel at home. I feel like I can just hang out like I've known Clint for my entire existence. So it feels like going home and hanging out with a good friend. And I like that. There's some people you connect with like that. And and he also has Downcast, which is live right now on Indiegogo. So go check out his book. It is amazing. And I think it has a Matthew Weldon cover. I believe that's the main cover. And then it has a Kelsey Shannon variant. And it's very, very cool. I think this is the follow-up to issue 1. So it is cleaning up. It is charting in the top 10. So Studs Ramrod. Did you hear that, Pamela?
Yes, that's a fun one.
Is it right up there with Albino Thunderbuns?
Yeah.
These guys should do a comic together. Studs Ramrod and Albino Thunderbuns. Two great tastes go good together. That also, anything with Ramrod in it always sounds dirty for some reason. So Hi Art, always wanted to ask, how was your experience when you took over the X book from Jim? Intimidating, but I had been working in that style for maybe a couple years. And I did feel ownership of some of the style. So, and I was doing finishes on Wills and Jim for about a year, back and forth between those two guys. And so it felt like just doing another book, to be honest. The only problem is that book was so far behind. By issue 13, which was my second book, my second X book, there was just no time at all. Do you remember that at the old townhouse?
Well, what I was going to say is at the time you had double pneumonia.
Oh, that's right. I was sick
You
as a
had no
dog.
voice.
I was like this.
And you had double pneumonia. And you had hurt your back. So you were just falling apart at the seams.
Do you remember that night at the townhouse when we jammed out the last couple pages?
Yeah.
We had, I don't know how this happened, you guys. I for the life of me, I don't know how. And my wife, Pamela, was working at Northrop at the time. So she had a real 9-to-5 type job. She was writing policies and procedures for Northrop. That's pretty serious stuff, you guys. So if you ever question that Pamela doesn't know her shit, she knows her shit, right?
Oh.
Well, well, let's hope so. You're writing policies.
I mean, for that, yeah.
Yeah. So I was working with Hack Shack Studios. I think I had
Danny Mickey.
And what was his name? Chris Lewis. I think those were the two guys that were working with me. We were working really late in the studio, and it was upstairs. It was a what do you call
Townhouse.
it? It was a townhouse, but it was like a split level, and so the studio was right across from the bedroom. So you were trying to get some sleep because you had to wake up early in the morning, but I had a deadline. So at first we were trying to be quiet, and then was Panosian staying with us, or was he just in California, or what was the deal? Why was Dan there? Because he lived in Florida at the time.
Yeah, I think he was just visiting.
Yeah, he was visiting or he was staying with us. But anyways, he comes in and starts helping out to get the pages done. And Dan and I used to jam on stuff all the time. Never get credit for it, but we would just jam on stuff a lot. And so then all of a sudden,
Bill Ray showed up.
Yeah, Bill Ray. I don't know how this happened.
From Ren and Stimpy fame.
Yeah, so Bill Ray, if you don't know, he was very influential on Ren and Stimpy, and he's a comic book guy, but he's mainly known as a animation guy. So he shows up at the studio, and he was like cutting Zipatone and filling blacks. And so the little studio upstairs ended up becoming downstairs. So the kitchen, dinette area, the dining room ended up becoming a big drawing board, and it was round. So there were like 3 guys sitting at the table, and we were just hanging out. I don't know how you got any sleep.
Well, that wasn't even the worst part.
What was the worst part?
Everyone except Bill Ray, whom I had never met, jumped in the car because you had to take the pages to
You're moving the table.
to FedEx at the airport. And it was the middle of the night. I was asleep. For some reason, I hear something, and I get up and I see Bill Ray in the hallway.
It's a tall guy.
He is coming from your studio. No one's there except this man that I've never met.
And the
I
doors
went after him with a butcher knife.
Right. The doors are like a sitcom. So the studio door opens up on, there's like a little hallway between them, and then there's a staircase down. So I think he was coming out, and you guys were both leaving the rooms at the same time, right?
Because I heard this weird sound. And I see this tall, thin, and he was dressed in dark colors coming toward me. And I just went after a knife and was going after him. And he was going, I'm Art's friend. I'm Bill Ray.
Who else was still there?
No one.
So those guys probably went home because we were done. But I think Panosian and I took off to the airport to drop off the pages.
And I don't know why he was.
And then Bill, because we were probably going to party after that or something. Yeah, because that's what you do after, pulling a 24-hour jam is you go out and you drink and you party. At least that's what we used to do when you have double pneumonia and just been through some crazy stress. So yeah, there's a Jim Lee story that I wasn't expecting to tell. So, Kiss, or how do you say this? K-S, Kiz? Kiss?
Kiss.
He says Kirk Douglas just died.
Oh.
So R.I.P., brother. R.I.P. Yeah, now I'm bummed out. Thanks, chat. Blue Sea Hill. There's definitely a Mobius influence there. Edgar says Clint the Destroyer of is that like Drew Stoker? How do you say that? In the house. I think everybody's trying to get him to say he's a descendant of Bram Stoker. Yeah. Yeah, believe it. Believe it, my brother. So, Spike in Madness. Are you rested up, Clint? Ready for another 13-hour stream? Did you guys do a 13-hour stream? I was on Ethan's. We did a 6-hour, but I came in, I think, for 3 of those hours, so only half of that. So was it last night that Clint was on EVS's stream? 13 hours? No. Anyways, Clint says, I'm so tired. Yeah, 13 hours. That's crazy. Archgeek Art. I think a black and white Graveyard Shift crossover would be pretty epic. Just saying. Ooh. One of the things I did want to do with black and white is that heavy science, like crazy science, exists, and also supernatural aspects do exist in that universe. One of the stories that one issue saw print 25 years ago was kind of getting into supernatural. So one of the ideas is that I like the idea of, I forget what they called it, but where supernatural is merged with technology. So I think that's a cool idea. Not that I made it up, but I like that idea. So when I do a book, I was planning to hire someone to pretend to be me to promote my stuff. PewDiePie hasn't gotten back to me yet, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed as well. Orson Scott Card, yes. Orson Scott Card, OSC. He's a really nice guy, man. He's very, very cool, and he loved the chronomechanics idea. I mean, he fell in love with it, and so he asked if he could do anything, and we were talking about possibly doing a story, and then in the meantime, what was his thing called? It was like a Beauty and the Beast type, Beast and the Beauty or something like that. It was based on a short story, and he was looking into doing something like a web comic, a serialized web comic, and he wanted me to draw it. And then I guess what we were going to do is a trade-off where he would write me a story and I would draw his book, because there was no money. There was no money discussed, so I think it was going to be some kind of trade-off. But yeah, he did me a review, which I should find. It was a lot of fun. I heard George R.R. Martin bought an extra house for his toys, whatever they are. I don't know if I would want to know what his toys are. He might be a little strange. Mr. Peanut has one, and he runs an empire. Monocle. So you know what? You start dressing to impress, and then the rest starts following. So there might be something to this monocle idea. Hey, Pamela, what do you think if I started wearing a monocle? Because I'm starting to see that, like, maybe a monocle equates success.
Let me know how that works for you.
I will.
Can I laugh at you a lot?
No. That would be mean.
Well, if you walk around with a monocle on, that's just gold right there.
Man, she just bumped the camera. Sorry about that. You guys are gonna get vertigo. Yeah, it is gold. Oh, thank you, man. This is for Downcast right here. So yeah, go check out Clint's book. I should keep that up for a little longer. Albino says, hi, Mrs. T.
Oh, tell him it's Pamela.
Humphrey says, hi, Pam.
Hi.
Adam Friended, we have a Comicsgate celeb in the house. Hey, Adam. Adam's one of those guys like Clint, too, that I feel like I've known all my life. So going on his show, I've only done it once, but I had a ball doing it. We've done a couple streams together, EVS streams and things. And he's a lot of fun, man. He's a lot of fun. He's like a kindred spirit. So he says, hi. Oh my gosh. I'm all over the place. Yeah, I'm so far behind too. This chat is getting out of control. Out of control. I'm calling it Art T Bear is Mr. Freeze, blue as ice. I don't know what gets into this camera, you guys, but things are becoming very blue. I'm very sad right now. Let me get some more light in here.
Is it because I bumped it?
No, it was already fade. The less light that comes in, the more blue things get. So as it gets darker in here, the more blue is going to show. I don't know. When Art gets 500 people, when Art gets here, 500 people will have yelled Mandela effect. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Nelson Mandela effect. So I'm caught up to the Mandela effect. That's how far behind I am in this chat. And what was that? 333. Okay. Art's a Mythbuster. He'll be taking on whatever EVS burnt Doug's. I don't know. I do have some Doug artwork, you guys. He gave my daughter some cat scratch original artwork from the cartoon. But it's technically my daughter's, but I wouldn't burn it anyways. It's a great piece of artwork. And I think it's from the animated. I don't believe he drew it. I collect animation. Art is 20 minutes behind the chat. I sure am. You know why? Because I went off on a tangent, a storytelling tangent. Art, I'm typing from the future. Do not wear yellow today. I don't know what that means. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm now at 338. I'm at 340. Hey, Art, how is it going today? It is going great. It's even better hanging out with you guys. So this was just a little break I'm taking between in the middle of my work day. So I think I'm going to hang out for a little bit longer with you guys. I'm going to show you some stuff though, and then I'm going to get something to eat and then work my little fingers to the bone the rest of the night. Oh, what is finishes Intel or Intel? I don't know how to say that word. Intel. It is like the most fundamental pencils that you could imagine. So they're basically just outlines, usually no rendering and no light sources. And sometimes things aren't even completely drawn. So what finishes are is that you finish in the ink stage the pencils. So you're kind of working as like a penciler and an inker. So you kind of draw things in and then you ink them. So usually that happens when there's a weak penciler, a penciler that a company doesn't have a lot of faith in. So I did a lot of this work in the day because they know I can pencil and they know I can draw, and I can bring a look to or a style to the book or the project. So they hire me for that. And then the other reason is if things are behind. So the reason I did stuff for Jim Lee and Will Spartaccio on X-Men in the day is I was pretty fast and I could take the workload off of those guys. So we could keep the team together. So Jim Lee could draw every book. So Wills could draw every book. So that was the idea, so that we didn't have to give up the book to another art team, because you don't want to do that, especially when there was that kind of money. We were killing ourselves to get those books done. So it would basically be whatever it took. Let me see. I'm not sure you've already backed it, but in case you haven't, you really should. Chrono Mechanics, get in before time runs out. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Pixel. Very, very kind. Thanks for having my back. So that's 341. I'm catching up. Adam says, when do we get a drum solo? I tried to do something with the drums, like record them, but the sound is so loud. It's everywhere. So to try to contain the drum sound in a primitive recording, like a video or something like that, it sounds horrible, man. It gets so distorted. So I've tried to do it. And I have a few friends that are engineers, like recording engineers. One of them actually does game shows. He does a game show that, what the hell was it? Like the return of like Wheel of Fortune or whatever the hell it was. And I'm trying to, we're all so busy with our schedules, but have him come in and see if I could record something, because I do have, believe it or not, a solo worked out, and it would be fun to play it for you guys. So it's probably about 3 to 5 minutes long, but that would be fun. That would be fun to do. But just doing it, it is so loud. You guys would not like it. And it distorts. It's the loud, it just distorts the recorder. Drums are interesting because the sound just bounces around everywhere. They're acoustic instrument, so they're not, you can't really contain them like you can an electric guitar or an electric piano or anything that you plug in. They're acoustic, so they're freaking loud, and the sound goes everywhere. My YouTube channel has a few videos on my upcoming comic book project, Savage Hawk issue 1. So go check out Nighthawk Warrior. Are we? Adam friended LOL. As soon as he gets a mobile camera, drums are in a different room. Yeah, there's like 2 rooms to the studio here, and but I could record them with a phone or something like that. I've tried to do it, but it's mostly the sound. It's really loud. So Albino, I took a trip to the future and I saw the interior Chrono Pages. It looks phenomenal. Yeah, I guess since he talked about it, Albino and I went out to dinner a few nights ago and had some great Mexican food. I got to know Albino a little bit, and he has a Comicsgate project that he's trying to get going. So looking forward to that. And also he talked about doing a YouTube channel as well. So that's very cool. And I gave him a preview of Chrono Mechanics. So he got to see all the pages up to this point. And I swore him to secrecy. For some reason, he kept going to his phone though. Like as he was looking at the book, he was kind of doing this a lot. What's up with that? And I could hear kind of a like sound coming from his phone. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. He won't drum. He needs his trifocals, which he refuses to wear. Hey man, when I'm rocking these things, they come off, man. Most self-respecting rockers do not wear glasses, man. I'd go blind before I wore glasses behind my drums. As the kids used to say, that would be gay. Remember when you could say that? Well, does anyone have any other questions about my comic project, Savage Hawk? Nighthawk just comes in and just takes over the chat, but I don't mind. So we have Adam. Took me a while to figure out how to stream on my phone too. Oh my gosh, that's how I started too. I was streaming from my phone. I actually had the dumb thing aimed right at the screen. It's pretty weird. Pretty weird. Let's see. Jeffrey STP. Walt rolls down the stairs alone or in pairs over the neighbor's dog. Bill Ray, after he got knifed by my wife. Back to work, Drawn and Quarter fan edition tonight. So check that out, you guys. Matthew Weldon is joining us to promote Drawn Punchline. Cool. That sounds good. Adam again, what happened with the art thief that traced Art's Joker? That was a great story. Well, the finale to that story, there is an end. I guess, even though I asked you guys not to, I guess there was a little pressure put on him, and so he pulled his Etsy page down. I have not checked to verify. I'm a busy man. I have pages to draw, and I have a story to write. But from what people in the chat, I think even my daughter looked it up, Amanda, she said it was pulled down. Finishes. Oh, albino helps with Sheldon. All right, 3:45. So we're only 15 minutes in the past right now. Well, we're a little bit more than that. We're like 48 minutes in the past, but I'm catching up. I'm moving into the future. Chat keeps on slipping into the future. If anyone has any questions about, okay, I read that. Don't mess with the misses. Yeah. Oh my gosh, when she told me that story about Bill Ray, I was frightened because I think Bill he's kind of balding on top, but he had long, scraggly hair. He definitely looked like a serial killer. Oh, the Adwin boyfriend did. Yeah, that's pretty funny. But you guys kid because you care. There would be no reason to kid unless we cared. So it's a term of endearment. Bye and peace out. Oh my gosh, I never thought he'd leave, man. He's just trying to take over. Nighthawk is just a control freak in the chat, trying to take the reins from me. He's not a backseat driver, or is he? He definitely is. Okay, so Victor says, we can see the cold breath when you talk, like Mr. Freeze's room. Yeah, I don't know what gets into this damn camera. Let me see. Maybe if I brought some more light in. Does that help? Does that help? I don't know. Oh, man, we have Rick. Slick Rick is coming in. If you were here earlier and I didn't see you, Slick, I apologize, but I went off on a couple tangents. Kirk was 103. Yeah, he was only 10 years younger than I am. That means I only have 10 more years to live. If I lived as long as Captain Kirk, the captain, R.I.P. Oh, okay. How do you say that? Dracula, Stroker. Stoker, not Stroker. Stroker is what old people they have. Uh-oh. The chat just jumped. Now I can't find my place anymore. What is going on? Okay, Gaming or What says hi, Art. So hey, what is up? Okay. Yeah, he's still here. Slick Rick, he must have me blocked. I don't know if anybody is even modding in this. I think 3 people have a wrench, because I can't give wrenches through the through StreamYard here. Art, the name is pronounced Keys. What is that? Keys. Keys. A kiss. I hate snakes. I hate them. I hate them all. Oh, thank you. I'm not sure what that stream was, but Kirk was just a baby, barely figuring out what this thing called life was about. Sorry, Art. If he didn't do it at 103, I only have 10 more years, so that means there's no way I'm going to figure it out either. Oh, this is horrible. All right, we got the 3 hellos. Three Stooges fan. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Do I have any original Kiss art? I never worked on the book, so no, I do not. That would be cool, though. I would like that. Ooh, what if you had like the Love Gun album cover, like the original to that? That would be. Oh yeah, it was the Return of Wheel of Fortune. That's how far this dates back. Wait, that was in the 80s? No, he's got a. Is that still on the air? If so, he may have moved on. Art, we met way back in the day at Moby Comics signing in Torrance. You had a yellow Miata. I think it was an MR2. It was an MR2 Miata. How dare you? That's a chick mobile. It's a chick car, I should say, not a mobile, because that makes it sound like if you have one of those, you attract women. You signed the X-Men issue you penciled. You were super gracious to us. Best of luck with Chrono Mechanics. Thank you so much, Michael O'Hare. I do my best. Thanks. I do my best. Thanks. Get electronic drums. I played those things. They suck. I hate them. I hate the way they feel. It's like hitting a big piece of rubber. But that is an idea. I had a friend of mine had them, and you could sample sounds. Oh, this is horrible. And Amanda, plug your ears. We recorded women sounds like ooh ah ooh ah. So when I played the drums, it was like ooh ah ooh ooh ah ah ooh ah ah ooh. So it was. I'm not going to go into any more detail. I think you guys get where that was going. Did you hear that, Amanda?
Didn't care either way.
She didn't care either way. So it was kind of a woman in the throes of passion. And it was funny back when I had a ton of time just to goof off. Yeah, I just have to. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of candidates for a wrench, and I appreciate the offer, and I would give it to you, but I have to figure out how to do it through StreamYard, or maybe I'll just do a mod recruit session and give you guys a heads up and come in and just do it straight through YouTube, and then I know how to mod through YouTube, but StreamYard you can't really do that. So thank you so much for the offer. So it's is. All right. I'm still probably saying it wrong. You're not going to get any satisfaction from me. I am sorry. Okay. Howdy, folks. Don't miss anything good. We have Central. Did I miss anything good? Yeah, you missed this. And this. All right. So yeah, I would really like to do this. Oh, listen to you guys. It had a rear engine. It was a sports car. Doesn't the Miata have a back seat? I don't know. LOL, sexy drums. Yes, electronic drums, central scrutinizer. Electronic drums are the tool of the devil. There's no substitute for full acoustic kit with 2 bass drums. I have 2 bass drums. They are 28-inch bass drums. Those are massive Tommy Lee size bass drums, and they are loud. So I get to annoy my neighbors. I do have Extreme Studio Stories, but I am going to have to wait because I'm going to start winding down as soon as I close the gap, which I am. I'm at 412. We're at 413 now. Yes, I feel like I've accomplished something. Even when I'm goofing off, I have a work ethic. Isn't that's sad? That is really sad. Art used to twirl the baton in band. How dare you? How dare you? I did date a cheerleader though. And actually, she helped out a lot in the day and showed me how to do it, because it's kind of like a pivot moment. It's like twirling a baton. So you just kind of move your hand back and forth, but you do it really fast. So you can't really tell that the fingers are moving. And from a distance, it looks pretty cool. Up close, you can probably see the magic trick. But leave more comments. Oh yeah, and if you guys could thumb it up and tweet it out. Chrono Mechanics, if you've already backed, could you please help get the word out? And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Oh, is someone brushing? Yeah, the studio bathroom is real close, and sometimes my daughter will use it as her own. I think she was spying on us. Wow, that microphone is really touchy. It is touchy. We have some more Comicsgate celebs. Zaid Comics, how are you, brother? Smash the thumb for our T-Bear. I appreciate you guys. And yes, I think Sierra Whiskey got to see the kit. You got to see the kit in the T-Bear vault room, which is a freaking mess. And guess what, Sierra Whiskey? It's just gotten worse since the last time you saw it. I need a vacation just to clean everything up. I have so many things that I need to do. It's insane. Yes, please. Yes, please. Back Chrono Mechanics. I would greatly appreciate that. So, here, let me see. I can get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. But here it is. And let me just show you just a quick what it is. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm very proud of this campaign. I'm very proud of this book. So this is Chrono Mechanics for anybody that doesn't know. And this is my Indiegogo campaign. So it's in demand right now, which means the initial campaign has been run and is done. So in demand means that it's a storefront. So it's basically an online store at this point. But I have kept all the campaign stuff intact. So all the tiers are still there and all the stretch goals are still there. However, I have made up my mind those stretch goals are going to go away. So getting all the freebie extras, let me show them to you real quick, are going to go away, other than you will get the extended 12 pages of content. So the book itself, you'll get to reap the benefits, but the variant trading card set will go away. The exclusive trading card from the cover will go away. The button and the cool lucky guitar pick, Doug's lucky pick. But like I said, you'll get the 12 extra pages because those will be in each and every book. But you will not get these stretch goals. And I am going to leave these stretch goals up until we go into print mode. So when we start, once this book goes off, I'm getting tired. Once this book goes off to the printer, I will close down the stretch goals. So you will no longer have access to these stretch goals. I may add some new stretch goals, but you will not get these stretch goals. So all these trading cards, these 5 trading cards, the button and the cool guitar pick, you will not have access to anymore. And that is me trying to go from the actual main campaign to the in-store, so I can show kind of a difference, and also to entice you guys to back early. So when you back early, you will get, you will reap the rewards, the benefits of coming in early and supporting the book. And the reason I'm saying that is because we are closing in on getting this book to the printer. So we're probably weeks away from getting this book done and out to the printers. So this is definitely reality. So if you want to get all those stretch goals, the freebies, please back now, and we can get those to you. And so these are all the interior pages. And I'm trying to go slowly so you can kind of get a flavor of it, but I'm also trying to get back to the chat so I can wrap things up. So this is the main cover. And then here's a cool overview of the story. The video is done by the great Von Klaus of Monster MD fame. And we are 31,732. We are under 300 away from 32K. So thanks to everybody who has backed this and has supported it, has tweeted out, shared it on your social media. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't backed this book, please do so. It is phenomenal. It is a one-of-a-kind read. And I think you will enjoy the heck out of it because it's a lot of fun. And it's really original. It is a lot different than most books, and it's way different than any book I've ever done before. So let me click some buttons and find out. Bonham-esque, yeah. Oh my gosh, Bonham. You talk about a drummer just for the sheer fill, like the way he just plays by the feel of it, man. It's just so organic, and it just moves. Everything feels logical. Everything feels organic. The way he plays, it's so crazy. He's like one. We used to call that in the even drawing, like you're one with the instrument, you're one with the tool. Like it's just an extension of himself. Like when I ink, I've had people say, it looks like you were born with that tool in your hand. So that's what that means. So he's definitely one of those drummers that the drums are just an extension of him. It's just like another appendage. So we have Sierra Whiskey. The T-Bear Vault is better than Disneyland. Well, yeah, I guess. It's a lot of fun for me. The whole kit and caboodle. I love the word caboodle. That's hilarious. All right, we have Simon Kessler in the chat. Hey, Art, we're the ultimate tier, black and white, the last to ship. I also got the variant as well, the ultimate tier. Is that the one with the sketches, the head sketches? If it is, yes, they are the last that's going out. So the commission tier and the sketch, which if that is what you're referring to, let me know. And it's one of the things I kind of have chambered here. So yes, back early, back often. That's gorgeous artwork. Thank you. I do appreciate that, Jeffrey. My tool is an extension of myself too. I knew somebody was going to take me up on that. I set them up. You guys knock them down. That's how we do it here, man. The 1-2 punch, the comedic 1-2 punch. Oh, Steve Gadd. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, you guys know some drummers here. Slick just knows appendages or extensions. Uh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's right. Neil Peart. We lost another one this last couple weeks. What is this? Flatulence. I always read from the end to the beginning. Gad plays great, but his tone is awful. Sounds like wet flatulence. I don't know about that, man. I have to listen again. Ooh, I do. Wait. Where was that? I do have a set of like beatnik bongos, like little bongos. I do have some of those. They're fun to play around with. Timbertone has just showed up. Thanks for the remake of Black and White. How's it going? It's going well. The chat is going well. Just hanging out, taking a break from my work, having fun. Just going back and forth with you guys on this live stream. Just taking a break, basically. Just taking a break for a while. So let me. Somebody mentioned the ultimate tier. It was Simon. So I do have. Let me screen share and see if I can. I think I have them saved here for you guys. That's not it. So yeah, I did a lot of these on the live stream, but these are all the different. I think these come with the ultimate tier. So these are all, man, I am a freaking machine. These all look identical. There's varying differences because these are all hand done, but you talk about being able to move like a machine. That's where all the training comes in. But yeah, that's all the books. This computer, Photoshop stinks. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so that's I think that's the majority of them. I think I still have some upstairs here, but I did a ton of them, and they are finished. And then here's what they look like up close and personal. So yeah, I believe Pamela, my wife, who's also my writing partner, and she's putting all these books together for the fulfillment and shipping them out for you guys. And she is packing up some of the sketch tiers and ultimate tiers, because I do think the sketch comes with the ultimate tier. So those are going out. I think she's packing those now. So they either some of them went out or they will be going out shortly. And I think she said the other day we only have like 70 more books to go out. So it's not a lot. It's not a lot of books. So we should be wrapping up by week's end next week. So next week, at the end of that week, we will have fulfilled everything. At least that's the goal. You got to have something to shoot for. So let me see here. This was the little treat I had for you guys. So here's a chrono page, and we were talking all about the great Mobius. So you can kind of see some of the ink style and the influence here. So this is one of the later pages. It's kind of a spoiler, but without context, it doesn't matter. So this is kind of, this is bigger than the original. So you can see the different ink style, the expression here, the different tools. Let me see. Maybe it'll let me blow it up. Yeah, it will. So you can see these are brush lines right here, these action lines coming across. It's very cool, man. I thoroughly enjoy inking in this style, because also the sky's the limit. I can get away with anything, any kind of ink style. I just incorporate it into the look. Here's our team. They're not powered up. You're going to have to see if they power back up, because that's part of the story. these mechanics are going to be taken through their paces. We're going to see how badass and how resourceful Team 9.2 of Sector 7 actually are. So there's some fisticuffs. You could see that Oot just popped this time giant and he's out cold. So there is a level of violence in this story. Usually the mechanics, sadly, take care of business with their fists, perhaps more than their wrenches and their tools. But yeah, this is fun. You can see kind of some of the bloopier style that I work in. The bloopy style is kind of let me show you when I say bloops. And I think it was I'm sorry, I'm looking at my it was Dan Jurgens that said it looks like liquidy. So this stuff right in here, especially like this end here, that's kind of the bloopy. So most hatches don't end with a thickness. They end like this one here. They just go into a point. So I like to break it up. So some of the lines will end in a point and some of them will just kind of blunt with a bloop on the end. So when you hear me talk or other people talk about the bloopy, that's kind of what they're referring to. So I work a lot like that, but in chrono, even like these little action lines, they kind of have that look to them. So it's a stylistic thing. And I can't take 100% credit for it, but a lot of people do give it to me. But I believe I got it from Barry Windsor Smith because Barry does that quite a bit. It depends on the styles he's working in as well. But I love this shot, man. It's kind of a worm's eye view. So the camera's mounted right on the bottom of the panel. So that's kind of a Mike Mignola thing, where sometimes he'll put the camera right on the floor, like right on the ground line. So I thought it would be fun to do that as well. So there is the pen and ink pencil drawing. I should say pencil drawing with pen and ink. And so this is the page I was working on this morning, kind of just cleaning things up a little bit. And this is these are Narwhal's colors. And yeah, he's really helping define the chrono style. So yeah, so that's kind of a treat. So you could see where the pencils and inks. I would love to do, oh my gosh, this as a black and white book, like 11 by 17 black and white book. That would be pretty killer. So that is that. Let me go back to the chat and see where you guys are at. That rhymed. Yeah. I look back and I think like, holy shit, like they all do look the same. I feel like I'm kind of reinventing, the wheel every time I ink or I work, but it's amazing how much consistency you can get. And I think that just comes from training yourself to, when you pick a style, you stay within that style. So it's a mindset, because if you don't, then you can veer off that path very easy and just start losing the style. And if you start doing that enough within the comic book, within the 22 pages or however many pages your book is, it can throw the reader. They won't there'll be inconsistencies there that they won't recognize the character, or they'll feel that something's off. So it's hard to do, to keep a level of consistency and draw the character the same each time, or ink the character the same time, or color the character the same way. But that's where the discipline comes in, and being a professional. So yeah, I think you have to kind of teach yourself to be kind of a machine. Wow, Ultimate Tier is a must. Oh God, you're speaking my language. Actually, you have cymbals in the shot there, Chris. So Chris looks like he's a drummer as well. Yeah, I love Terry Bozzio. He's an LA guy. So in the day, whenever he would play, or Missing Persons, there was even a band called UK or something like that he was in, and I went to see those guys. They were like a rock fusion band. I forget who else was in that band, but they were kind of like a super band. Yeah, there's a few gems with Missing Persons, but I think overall, their music is it's overly poppy, but you can definitely tell that there was some major influence that came out of that band. And I think where they jumped the shark for me is when Bozzio started using electronic drums. I thought that, like, Mental Hopscotch and Nobody Walks in LA, I thought those were awesome. And the drums were tuned way different, and he was using rototoms and different drums. So he was experimenting with sounds, but I liked that sound more because that was a true acoustic sound. I don't like technical drums at all. I don't like sample drums. I don't like electronic. I don't like any of that stuff. I like acoustic drums, just period, flat out. So the second part of this, I actually like all of the guys that played with Zappa, surprisingly. I think the Missing Persons band is Zappa's band, right? Even Terry Bozzio, or Adele Bozzio, the singer, was a backup singer for, it wasn't the Mothers of Invention, but it was Zappa's band. Definitely. Oh, yeah, exactly. Del Bozzio was Lady Gaga before Lady Gaga. Yeah, so they were pretty influential. They burned real hot, but they just couldn't sustain it. I think it was just the material. Yeah, I never thought the music was that interesting, the Lady Gaga stuff. It felt, she was also very Madonna. She just felt like it. She was contrived. She was a contrivance, but she had a pretty good voice. So she has talent. But other than that, man, you guys are freaking on fire here. I'm never going to get out of here. I think he's talking about Corona. The panel layouts in this book are very fun and engaging. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think outside the box, you guys. All the skills, all my influences, everything I have, I'm bringing into Chrono Mechanics. So, yeah, I think he's talking about that last panel, the proportions. Yeah, it's a really fun perspective angle to play with, and it does lend itself really. It lends itself to the fun style. Oh, Bruford, Wetton, and Holdsfield. Yeah, that's like jazz fusion. Is that right? I don't know how to describe that stuff, but I know Bill Bruford is like big time jazz. The church lady. Yeah, I think with Missing Persons, it was the 80s. So very cool. I think I covered everything. I had fun. You guys did the trick. You got me off my work mindset. I had an hour or so to hang out, to relax with you guys and have some fun. So mission accomplished, you guys. Thank you so much. So I'm going to leave you with, let's see if I can do this without hitting anything. So the double twirl. Let me see. And so this is the one you want. You want this one. This is the money shot. So you try to get the back of the hand to the audience, because if you do it like this, you can see the hand kind of fold in. But if you do it this way, you can't see the hand as much. So it's kind of a magic trick that you do. Yeah. So yes. Stream raid. I've never heard of such a thing. It sounds incredibly violent, and it seems like it would require a lot of people. There'd be a lot of people. Yes, smash for me, please. I do appreciate it. And like I said, please go back, Chrono Mechanics, and give it a shout out. Thank you very much. We end with Slick Rick. Have a good night, Art. Thank you so much, Slick. You guys do the same. I am out of here. Adios, amigos.